The ADC, which seems to be the main opposition political group in Nigeria, is facing a major setback. INEC, right now, it does not recognize David Mark as the party's chairman and Rauf Aregbesola as the national secretary. And they also said that they won't monitor any of their convention or congresses due to various letters it received. Right now in the ADC, there are two factions, the David Mark faction and the Nofiu Bala faction. Remember, Nofiu Bala Gombe was the former national vice chairman of the ADC. And when this new stalwarts came on board, David Mark, Peter Obi, they had to, reshuffle the whole cabinet, the Humphrey Nwosu cabinet. But Nofiu Bala said no, and he had to head straight to court to stop them from assuming leadership of the party, and he's claiming that he should be the rightful chairman of the party. So what is actually the controversy right now in the ADC is the chairmanship position, in fact the leadership position in the party, and this has always been a major issue in party politics in Nigeria. So right now we are awaiting the Federal High Court's final decision concerning the matter. INEC has freezed every engagement with ADC's leadership, and if you go to INEC's website, David Mark and Rauf Aregbesola, in fact all its leadership have been removed. Well, what do you make of all this? INEC actually has a commitment to remain independent and impartial, and we've heard various critics and analysts saying that they don't think that INEC is actually independent. Indirectly, they are saying INEC is being influenced by politicians in power. Do you think these allegations are true? And at this point, what should ADC, what should be their position right now? Well, to discuss these issues this morning, I have my guest in the studio. My guest is a seasoned journalist, a public affairs commentator, and the Kwara State correspondent for Vanguard newspaper, Mr. Demola Akinyemi.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, listeners.
You're welcome. INEC has released its timetable, and political parties need to adhere strictly to this timeline. Do you think that the controversy going on right now in the ADC will actually afford them the window to fulfill all that is in that timetable?
You see, the issue at stake with ADC, I think it's a very serious one at this point. ADC is about the only truly opposition party that is existing now. It's whether anybody likes it or not, that is the truth. You cannot truly call PDP an opposition party now. There's nothing anybody can say about that. And of course, from the antecedent of where we're coming from, you know that everything is all out to also decimate ADC. Because I wouldn't know, but from me, I think INEC really needs to convince Nigerians that it's truly independent. To convince Nigerians that yes, the position you are taking against this ADC is truly worthy. Because there's no way this kind of government can be coming ahead of elections and you want the house, and anybody would think that ADC will have its house in order. They can't. The disinternet crisis and the removal of their case of their chieftains from the INEC portal. So how do they organize? How do they coordinate? So it's a serious one for ADC, and I think it's also a serious one for Nigeria. If you look at the antecedents of what has happened in PDP, and the way PDP stands now, you know that ADC is the only party next. So if you look at the trajectory, you know that nothing will make ADC to stand the test of having a candidate or having his house in order ahead of the elections. Nothing. It won't be allowed to have his candidates to stand for election.
Now, I think we should take a memory lane down how all this started. The combination of individuals that makes up the ADC. Many would say that ADC as a party is not a really strong opposition, that it is because of the opposition figures that are in the party that makes it strong, that if those figures leave, then ADC will no more be that strong opposition that we perceive it is. But let's take a look at how it started and how it's degenerated. What do you think is the root cause of this controversy?
You see, the root cause, the main cause of the controversy is when PDP started losing its position as the main opposition party. Because, of course, some of these people, these chieftains,
Yeah.
APC, ADC, PDP, even APC, all of them are the same thing, you know. So at the point the PDP is being dealt with, losing its focus, losing its standing as an opposition party, because PDP was a ruling party before it became an opposition party.
Yeah.
And when this government, when the ruling APC came in, it became an opposition party. You know, and of course, it is very obvious that the ruling party was ready to deal with PDP. You know the history now. The challenge in PDP gave rise to the party called ADC. Some of them say, okay, in their own mind, we need to save Nigeria, we need to save democracy, let us regroup.
Yeah.
It is normal in any setting.
Okay.
Even if you have in these common union matters, you think somebody is going astray, people will regroup.
All right.
Let us say we can salvage this thing.